Hi everybody, welcome back to Crafted by Corey. Thank you so much for being here. Let's go ahead and get right into it. DIY number 1. I am super excited. This is my inspiration picture. I saw it at Hobby Lobby. It was like 120 bucks. We're using Dollar Tree supplies. Well, I thought I was going to be using those tubes. They didn't work out. I have a couple of different sized buckets here. I went with the small ones eventually. I also have some paper towel holders that I am going to kind of dismantle a little bit. So that larger ring was able to just pop right off. It just took a little bit of bending it back and forth and it popped off. And then I am going to trim off those other little pieces that are sticking out there. I'm just using my heavy gauge wire cutters, and I just was able to score it until it came off. It actually worked out a lot easier than I had anticipated. I wasn't sure if that was going to break off. So I am just trying to figure out placement for everything here, because I'm using the paper towel holders to attach my little buckets. So also using these little blocks. These wooden blocks are from the Dollar Tree as well. I think they come in a pack of like 50. And just using them as a little ledge to adhere my buckets. Now, when you do this, I was using hot glue for the sake of ease and time, but if you want this to be permanent, I do recommend using E6000 or something of that nature, because they did pop off on me a couple of times when I was bumping them and knocking things around trying to get all of the elements working here, because it did take quite a bit of trial and error on my part, and I'll share a little bit more about that as I go, but I figured it all out so you don't have to. So now I'm coming in with my Arteza outdoor acrylic paint, and I decided to use the outdoor paint even if I decide to use this indoors, because we are going to be using water with this. So I figured the outdoor acrylic paint was most likely going to hold up the best. I'm using the black that I went through with first, and then I have a battleship gray color that I'm coming in and using, and then I'll also use the silver, and I'm just looking to get that galvanized look. So coated all surfaces with it, including the inside of the little buckets. For the inside, I couldn't get in there with my sponge, so I just was using my little chippy brush to do it, and it did a great job. So once I had all of that done and had them looking the way I wanted, I created a rust tone with my red and my chocolate brown, and I am just going to hit that with in all the little places where you would normally anticipate seeing rust. So like on the lip of the bucket, at any of the joints, that sort of thing. And then I did put some on my little fleur et jardin little fun thing to just make it look like it had some rust too. Then I was securing everything inside. Now this was my attempt at using those balloon sticks. These are tubes, you know, it probably could have worked for me. But yeah, they were just a little bit rigid. When I tried to actually bend it without using my heat gun, it snapped. So if you do decide to try to use these for some other project, just know that you can't just bend them. But I fashioned it all together, and I had what I thought might work, and so I'm filling it up with water because I was determined and convinced that I was going to be able to siphon the water in a way that it would flow and do what I needed it to do. I just figured, you know, as long as I had the dimensions right, yeah, that doesn't work. And here I am attempting again. I'm like, oh, well, I'll create a little water tower on the side and maybe that will help. Yeah, it was basically just extending my tube. So when you siphon water, to have it work properly, your exit point must be lower than your entry point. And I spent probably a good couple of hours learning this the hard way, because I was just convinced that there was some way to do it. And there technically is, you can create a heron's fountain, but I learned that that was something I would have to flip over constantly to get the water to continue to flow. So yeah, you could do it that way and not use power, but I ultimately went with a little pump. Now I'm sealing in the base all around here because during my trial and error, I did find that this is not completely watertight. So if you're going to use this for water, you definitely want to seal that. So now I've shown you the first pump that I attempted, and this is something that I found on clearance at Lowe's. It was like $4. So I was really excited to find it. It's a little pond pump. Didn't really occur to me at the time that when it said that it could pump water up 2 to 3 feet in the air, it might be a little bit too strong for this project. So at any rate, I've got my tubing all set. I am getting my pump ready to test, and water went everywhere. I'm like, oh no, oh no. And now the only way to turn it on and off is to unplug it. And so now my hands are covered with water. I'm trying to get this to stay inside. So, I mean, you can't even really see here the extent of the water, and there was water everywhere. So I'm like, okay, what do I do with this thing? Because I'm by myself. How do I shut this thing off? So I finally got it wedged in there. I was able to dry off my hands. Yeah, it was an experience. So now I'm like, what do I do? So I made a trip to the pet store and got a different pump. So I ended up getting a little aquarium pump. So now, as I had seen with that first attempt, the water was going, you know, a little bit too forcefully, and it was also overshooting my buckets. So I did heat up my hot glue here, and I moved my little paper towel holder gadgets to the far outsides of my basin, which is really where I wanted them in the first place. So that worked out well. So here I am setting up the new pump. This is the aquarium pump, and it was for, I think, like a 30-gallon fish tank, and this was perfect. And I was able to use the same tube and everything. And now I'm just coming in with some hydrangeas from the Dollar Tree just to cover up the pump and make it look pretty. Hi again. I hope that you're enjoying the project so far. If you are returning, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate you and all of your support. And if you are new, welcome. My name's Corey. This is Crafted by Corey, and on my channel, I love doing all different kinds of DIYs and crafts, largely Dollar Tree, almost always on a budget. I post new videos every Friday, and today's video is extra special because it's a collaboration with my sweet friend Teresa from Teresa B DIY. I hope you'll go over and take a peek at Teresa's channel, and be sure to watch her video that she's done in collaboration with me this week. I absolutely adore Teresa. She's got such a great personality. She has a fun sense of humor, and I just can't say enough good things about her. Her crafts are fantastic. I really do recommend her highly. So I hope you'll check her out, send her some love from me, let her know that I sent you her way. But for now, let's get right back into the crafting. DIY number 2. For this project, I am going to be using a hat from the Dollar Tree as well as some Dollar Tree picks, y'all. And then I took off that little hook that they used for it. I'm going to save that, and I'll show you why in a little bit. But this is such a quick and easy project, but it is so pretty in the end. So if you're looking for something that's really fast, I'm talking like 10-minute project that you're going to be really happy with, this is the project for you. So as per usual, I'm cutting apart all of my little picks, and I am just arranging them the way that I want them around the hat. I'm not gluing anything down right now because I'm visual. I want to see everything in place, and then I will go back in and fasten everything. So I had used those really pretty blue ones. I forget what those are called. And then I'm coming in with some purple hydrangeas, and I did find that I needed to trim those little stems down a little bit more when I was going to secure them. And then I decided to also come in with some fun yellow roses, but I'm just taking them completely off of their stems so that I can get them to sit nicely around my little hat. It's like my Easter bonnet, right? So once I had everything arranged the way I wanted it, I was able to take everything off. I just kind of placed it around in the same order around the outside of the hat, so I would still kind of know where I wanted things. And then I just came in with my hot glue and secured everything down. bent little wires when needed. That's the great thing about these floral picks, is because they are wired, so you can usually bend them and have them go in the direction that you want them to. Not always out to the very tips, but usually for the most part you can get them arranged in the way that you want. So then coming back in with my hydrangeas, just trimming off those stems even more so that I can get them in there, and securing everything down with some hot glue. And in the end, this came out even prettier than I had imagined in my head. I am so happy with this project. This is definitely something I will be keeping and hanging in my own home, or I know that Rich loves purple, so maybe I'll let him hang it in his home. And then it'll eventually be back in my home once we're together full-time permanent, right? So, but for the roses, I did decide to add the greenery back in, so I pulled that off as well. I attached it with some hot glue to the flower itself because it wasn't going to stick any other way, and I didn't want the flowers to be falling out. So went ahead and adhered the greenery to the little rosebuds, and then adhered the rosebuds to the hat. And that's it, you guys. That's all it takes to create a little Easter bonnet door hanger or something to put on your wall. Isn't it sweet and pretty? So then I know I saved that little hook from before, and that's what I'm going to use for my hanger, right? So no fancy anything needed. I'm just going to hot glue that right to the back of the hat, and it's done. I love this. Let me know what you think. So today's video is sponsored by Skillshare. If you're not already familiar with it, Skillshare is an online learning community where you can find thousands of classes on any topic you can think of, like illustration, video, freelancing, design, photography, and the list goes on and on. Their classes are available for every skill level and include a combination of video lessons and a class project. I love the online format because I'm able to take the classes on my schedule and learn at my own pace. Most of the classes are less than 60 minutes, and they're broken down into shorter lessons, which makes it even more convenient. As part of the sponsorship, Skillshare has provided me with a free trial, and I've been taking advantage of classes on Canva, blogging, and graphic design. If there's something you'd love to learn, I encourage you to check it out, because the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description box will get a free trial of premium membership, so you can explore your own creativity. And if you love it, it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. DIY number 3. For this project, I have some little hair barrettes from the Dollar Tree. I've got some fabric. This is a microfiber cloth from the automotive section, and then I had a dust mop head as well. So I'm taking the microfiber cloth and I'm kind of folding it in a way so that I can cut out a approximate circle shape. And once I have that done, I'm going to use the rest of it to stuff my little circle, and I'm going to gather it up, and I'm going to secure the top of it with a rubber band, just making sure that it's got about the shape that I'm looking for. And then I'm taking my fabric and I am trying to figure out the width that I want to use here. I bet it's going to be a really big shocker for you to learn that I'm making a gnome. So I definitely have the gnome bug. So I'm creating the little gnome's hat, and I had decided that I should really fold that in half there so that my hat is symmetrical, at least to some extent. So I am following the lines there. And the fabric had been doubled when I cut it originally, so I've got 2 pieces, right? So now I'm flipping them inside out to each other, so right sides together, and I am just going to secure that with hot glue. You can certainly sew this. I haven't used my sewing machine in a while because I still haven't fixed the tension on it, so I've really been enjoying the hot glue for these quick projects. Once I have that all secured, I'm going to flip it right side. Actually, before I flip it right side out, I'm actually going to create a little hem there so that I have a finished edge. So that's what I'm doing there. making sure that that's all nice and secured. And then I will go and flip it right side out once that is all taken care of. And to get that little point out, I just first used my finger, but then I came in with a little paintbrush handle and just stuck that in there, and that helps get into little corners. So now I am going to fit it to my little gnome's body and make sure that it's the way that I want it. And then I am going to create my gnome a little beard. And I cut it the wrong way the first time, so I wanted it, is it convex or concave? I think I cut it convex, but I needed it to be concave. So I'm cutting it down a little bit more so that it forms around the bottom of the hat. And then I have this little piece of carrot from the Dollar Tree that I had cut the top off of for a different project, and I am going to make his little nose with this, but first I wanted to get it to the right shape that I wanted, so I removed all of the orange twine and cut my little foam piece, and now I'm just going to reapply the cord the way that I want it and get that all taken care of, nice and neat, just a little bit of hot glue as I go around and around. And this is I know it looks wide, it's actually 3 different pieces that I was wrapping around there at once. So made the project a little bit faster. So now I'm gonna secure the beard the way that I want it. Make sure that's taken care of, securing his little nose. And then I'll be able to put his hat back on and get him looking all fancy. I did try to take the little hair barrettes and just clip them to the bottom of the hat, thinking that would be a good solution, and it just looked weird. So I ended up putting them up a little bit higher, just securing those with some hot glue. If I had to do it again, I would have stuffed his hat. It just would have made it a little bit stiffer, help it stand up a little bit more. It stands up fine on its own, but again, if I had to do it again, I would stuff the hat portion too with fiberfill or something. So now I'm just taking a little wooden heart from the Dollar Tree. I had painted orange, and I'm using this as our gnome's little feet, and I just think he is so cute. Give me a big thumbs up if you like the project, and leave me a comment. Now it's time for a shout out, a timeout. Yay, Jessica and Kira. Kira just turned 9 and her mom did the bunny project. It was awesome. Awesome, Julia. This is a brooch tree. Amazing. And so cute, Carmen. These are just absolutely adorable. Beautiful job, Bobby. Beautiful wreath that she was inspired by Wendy at White Sparrow Living on. And Laura, this is beautiful. I love it. So nice, Chrissy. Look at these beaded garlands, guys. And wow, Lorna has been busy. She's gearing up for her own YouTube channel. Very pretty, Valerie. Thank you so much for sharing all these fantastic projects. I would love to give you a shout out. So if you have interest, please email me at craftedbycory@gmail.com. DIY number 4. For this project, I am going to be using some pipe cleaners or chenille stems. I have a bunch of things from the Dollar Tree, that cocoa thing, it's for plants normally. Yeah, it goes in those wire baskets. But then I have obviously a wreath form. This is also from the Dollar Tree. I have a bunch of their, what do you call that stuff? It's, Deco mesh. That stuff. So I've got a bunch of that. And then I had one of the automotive microfiber towels again that I'm going to be using. So I'm starting out with the mesh, and I had, as you could see, secured the chenille stems to each of the joints, top and bottom, so that I have a way to fasten my mesh onto the wreath. If you've seen me do these wreaths before, you know, I just make little poofs going all around and just secure it with twisting it into the chenille stem as I go. So I did that with the blue, and then I combined the pink and purple together, and now I've got the yellow and the white. And for the yellow and white, I decided I was going to make little poofs because I just wanted it to have a little bit more dimension. So coming in with my yellow on the outside and making those poofs, and then I did the white around the inside. So now I have some acrylic paint from the Dollar Tree in this bright yellow color, and I am going to add it to some water, and I'm going to use this to stain my microfiber towel. So, or color it, stain it, color it, whatever you want to say, dye it. That's the word I'm looking for. So I've got it the color I want. I set it aside to dry for a little while. And now I am coming in with my little coconut liner, whatever you call this thing. And I am using some zip ties. They poke right through there, so I didn't even have to make holes. They were able to just poke right through. And I am securing this in 8 different places around my wreath form. And this worked really well. So I didn't tighten them fully as I was doing them. I waited until I had them all in place, and then I tightened them so I made sure that it was centered. Now, when my towel was completely dry, I came in with that, and I am covering up my cocoa thing. And you know, before I started putting this on, I was looking at it and I was like, you know what, that would make an awesome sunflower. So if you wanted to create like a sunflower wreath, go find one of those cocoa things, because it would be perfect for that. So I'm just securing. You could see I created a seam with it kind of sticking out poofy in the middle, and now I am securing this and clipping off all of the little zip tie ends, and just making sure everything is nice and secure. So this might be considered a little bit of a fail, you guys, because when I showed pictures of it to my mom and my sister, they had no idea what it was. It does kind of look like a bumblebee right now, so I can see that. But I'm actually making a baby chick. So if you've seen those wreaths with the bunny butts sticking out, I decided, well, I was going to do a twist on that and make one with a little baby chick. So I've got this wired jute cord from the Dollar Tree, and I am making our chick's little feet and their legs. I'm just twisting it into the shape that I want. So making the little chunky thigh there for it to attach to the wreath. And I'm just going to come in with some hot glue in a minute once I have the other leg created, and going to secure both of those to the little chicken butt. So this probably would be more apparent as to what it is if I had been able to find feathers, yellow feathers. I was only able to find green feathers, like they had green boas at Dollar Tree, and I was really trying to stick to Dollar Tree supplies for this. So yeah, we have the microfiber towel instead. But I figured, you know what, little chicks, they don't have giant feathers. They're usually just soft and fuzzy, right? So I don't know. But if you're able to find some feathers, it might be more apparent as to what your project is when you're done with it. So now I have some fun ribbon, and I am just wrapping it around this piece. It's about 6 inches across, I would say. So I'm cutting 12-inch ribbon lengths approximately. And I'm doing that with the fun little polka dot ribbon, and then I'm coming in with a green that matches those green polka dots. And then I also cut some white. So I have 16 pieces of each of these. I'm going to dovetail the ends. I didn't really show that on camera, but hopefully you know what I mean when I say that. And if you don't, leave me a question in the comments and I'll be happy to explain. But now I'm coming in with one of each of the colors and securing them kind of staggered, but at each intersection where I have my chenille stems. And then I'm twirling the chenille stem down to tuck it down inside and finish that off. So here it is. Let me know what you think. And here we are for the final reveal. Okay, everybody, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the project. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Please remember to go over and check out Teresa B's channel. The link is in my description box. I hope that you'll enjoy her projects as well, and just let her know that I said hello and sent you her way. And until the next time, be well, be kind, and make it a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Take good care. Bye. Hi everybody, welcome back to Crafted by Corey. If you're new, I'm Corey. Let's get right into the crafting. Really, dude? Stop. You just give me a minute. Hi everybody, welcome back to Crafted by Corey. If you are new, my name's Corey. This is Crafted by Corey. And if you are returning, thank you so much for your ongoing support. I really appreciate you so much. What's going on with the animals? Hi everybody, welcome back to Crafted by Corey. If you're new, I'm Corey. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you so much. And if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, and I've already talked about this, and so I hope that you'll hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you... Not the way I want to say it. Hi again, thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited to share these projects with you, and that's not what I wanted to say. Hi again, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're enjoying the crafting so far, and I completely lost my thought. Hi again, I hope you're enjoying the craft so far. I am not thinking straight. Not thinking. Come on. I post every Friday with a new video, and today's video is extra special because I am doing a collaboration with my sweet friend Teresa from Teresa B DIY. On Teresa's channel, I don't need to get into that right now.